So EA Sports College Football 25 is coming out this summer, and we're all excited about it. I know I am, and I just can't wait, especially for someone like me, a college football die-hard fan, but also a big fan of the video games. I have put in countless hours over my entire life on the PS2, the PS3, and coming this summer on the PlayStation 5. But today, we got a little bit of a nugget, I would call it. Kirk Herbstreit was on the Pat McAfee show today, and they basically talked to him about, a plethora of things, but they did touch on this football game, and I'll tell you a little bit about what he said. There wasn't much here, but hey, at this point here starting in April right now, we'll take everything we can get about this game. So basically, here's just a few notes. So he said that he thought the game will come out in July, and I think we all kind of predicted that. The games in the past would come out in July, to give people time to play it before the football season starts. So that is a trend that we suspect will continue. He does confirm that there will be different announcing teams. Now, we all suspected that, and he talked about where in previous games, you would have the same 2 or 3 voices in every game, regardless of level, regardless of, if it's a 2 small schools or if it's the national championship. It would be the same Brad Nessler, Kirk Herbstreit, at least them 2 in the game. Now, Lee Corso earlier on in the PlayStation 2 era. But he says there'll be different announcing teams, and that's really exciting to me. So, and even if it is just other ESPN personalities that are on the call for these other games here, that is kind of refreshing. Because, obviously you expect, if you watch TV right now, if you turn on ESPN on any Saturday, you see Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler on the call for the big games, the big, huge college football primetime games between 2 huge, usually top-ranked opponents. And when you see them 2, you hear their voices, you know that this is a huge game being played now. Having other commentary teams to carry us through these games is really refreshing, and that's going to be exciting for all of us. So Kirk was talking about his work on this game, and I don't know because I've never done this before, but I'm sure that it's a grueling experience having to say all these things, having to record all these things, all these different ways. I can imagine it's kind of like voicing, say, like an animated movie, for example, where you have lines, but you have to say it 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 different ways. And whoever goes in there and edits the movie, obviously they'll pick and choose which ones fit depending on, what's going on in the movie at that time. But he said he's been working 2 to 3 hours sessions 3 to 4 times a week. Now, Kirk did say that he was not finished with commentary. Now, that's nothing to be worried about. He's going to get it done. Trust me. But he just mentioned that he's not done with it. Now, we had seen some video from Chris Fowler not that long ago where he kind of talked about, his process, kind of showed his little setup there where he's got all his desk, he's got his computers, his audio interface, his microphones, and all those things. And that was an exciting little behind-the-scenes touch. But we know that also Chris Fowler had mentioned that he and Kirk had kind of worked together on some recordings, so they can get that sort of synergy, kind of go off of each other like they would in the real broadcast. And he mentioned another thing about the commentary in particular, and I'm sure this goes way back to the previous games too. There's a lot of ad-libbing in the game that they'll give him a situation, and he'll basically have to ad-lib, what he would say in that situation. He doesn't know, like, a particular team or what's happening in the game, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, but he just has to call it like he would call it in real life. And at least with the color commentary, I know, like, for Chris Fowler, there's probably more maybe more scripted things, but there's probably ad-libbing in there as well. These are professionals. These are guys that have done this hundreds of times, thousands of times, and that really right there, it makes it feel more authentic, and that's what I love about it. Kirk, I know back in the later releases, 13, 14 being the last one that they've made up to this point, there's a lot of ad-lib. There's a lot of, like, Kirk doesn't just say one or two sentences. Sometimes he would go off on a deep, in-depth football analysis. And I always like that. I really enjoyed that little touch in the games. A lot of people, they don't care about the commentators in the game. I do, and I know there's a lot of people out there that do as well. But also, it was kind of funny because Pat McAfee and the guys there, they were kind of, well, first of all, Pat, he called it 2K, and it's obviously EA Sports. And I understand Pat McAfee, EA's 2K's got the WWE game, so I understand he's kind of defending that. I understand completely. But Kirk, he defended EA, and he said, EA Sports is it. EA is on a whole nother level when it comes to sports games. He's really defending the company, as he should. He should say, 2K sucks. If 2K was making this game, it wouldn't be any good. He did say, and I think it got kind of lost in the translation there because all them guys were talking all at once, but you kind of heard Kirk in the background say, 2K, last game 2K made, it wasn't no good. It sucked, whatever. Just a fun little jab there. But I thought that was funny, and this is just one other thing that we can kind of sink our teeth into, and it's not much, but it's more excitement. We're here at the beginning of April. In May, EA is supposed to release the first full trailer of the game, and we're waiting for that. We're counting down the days till July. So thank you for watching this video. My name is Brandon Taylor. We'll see you in the next one. Any updates for the game, any fun stuff, I will shoot it your way. I'll give you my comments on it, and much, much more. Thank you. We'll see you next time. God bless.